Let me introduce our chairperson for the day, Mr. Ravi Kaklasaria, co-founder and CEO edForce, who shall be introducing to learning and development in the new era of hybrid work. With over 2 decades of industry expertise, Mr. Ravi leads edForce's strategy and vision. Focused on customer satisfaction, he collaborates closely with IT industry leaders addressing upskilling challenges. Passionate about innovating learning solutions, Ravi leverages technology for live online training, cloud labs, assessments, and more. His background includes leadership roles at GE, Goldman Sachs, and ITC Infotech. He holds degrees from IIT Varanasi and West Virginia University, USA. So now I would like to welcome Mr. Ravi Kaklasaria on the dais. Can we please give a huge round of applause for our chairperson for the day?
So, Whitefield, I think, is a little off for most of us. So I think we are yet to have that critical mass. But glad to see you all, and it was nice saying hello to many of you. Uh, so, good morning to everyone from L&D community, esteemed guests, and my fellow professionals. I'm honored and delighted to stand before you today as the CEO and co-founder of edForce, a company that is dedicated for workforce upskilling and accelerating it, and revolutionizing the way learning initiatives are driven in the enterprises. It is a great honor and pleasure to have each and every one of you today as we embark on a day-long journey into the dynamic transformation of learning and development. Now, as we start this journey today, it will be appropriate to talk about a topic that is very timely and very pertinent for all of us, which is introduction to learning and development in this new era of hybrid work. As we all can realize and feel it, the work has undergone a profound transformation, accelerated by the recent global events. The hybrid work model, a blend of remote and in-office work, has become the new form for many organizations. Now, this shift brings a lot of challenges and opportunities for the entire L&D community. Learning and development professionals, now we all of us find ourselves handling these changes, equipped with task of upskilling the employees and to make sure they are aligned with the changing technology landscape. Now, before we delve into this learning and development, how it is changing in this new era, let's examine what defines it. The hybrid work model demands the need for flexibility, allowing employees to work from different locations. Everyone is remotely working, and it's quite distributed geographically. We have to harness the benefits of technology, goes without saying, and adapt to the changing circumstances, right? It also empowers employees to strike the right balance between their work life and professional life, and also for organizations to leverage the global talent pool that is available. Now, as this transition comes into picture, we also have a lot of challenges. One of them is maintaining team cohesion, then ensuring equitable access for the resources, addressing the digital gap, which is continuously increasing and we keep trying to fill it. And that is where we all in the L&D community, L&D professionals, play a very important role. Now, as we all know, learning and development has always been a critical function within organizations. But its importance has never been more pronounced. In this new era, as it is evolving, learning and development is not merely an option, but rather it's a strategic initiative. And why do I say so? There are multiple reasons. Firstly is the importance of continuous reskilling and upskilling. Compared to old times when, training will happen once for the fresh hires and, rarely. Now there is a need for continuous upskilling and reskilling. With the technology evolving at a rapid pace, employees need to be continuously updated in their skills. and we as learning development professionals must design programs that facilitate continuous learning. Second is remote onboarding. Uh, Now with the workforce working remotely, we don't know where they are. You can have your someone from your workforce, an employee, working out of his village or town, sitting under a tree. We don't know. So it is important to be having engaging program to be able to onboard them remotely. As this is becoming more and more prevalent, we have to create a process that is immersive and hires the and make sure that the new hires gets immersed into the culture of the company. And we need to have, obviously we need to have the necessary tools and the roadmap for that. Third, which is about making sure that they are digitally literate, a very important thing. Now, I just can't emphasize it enough. This is a lot of times taken for granted that yes, everyone in today's generation is digitally literate. But this is a challenge that is shared by a lot of learning and development managers with whom I speak. They say that when we actually try to onboard new hires or we have our existing workforce and we ask them to use certain platforms or certain tools, we face a lot of pushback and there is a lot of challenge. I'm sure you guys must have also faced similar kind of challenge with your teams, right? So we have to make sure that the workforce, they are digitally literate, they are exposed to the digital tools, cyber security, and they can easily handle and navigate through this ever evolving digital landscape. Fourth, certifications and compliances. Again, a very important aspect. Most of the organizations, our clients, require that the workforce is certified and they have the adequate compliance training. Now, we as learning and development professionals, we must make sure that the hybrid model makes these tools are accessible to our remote workers while they are engaged and the quality is maintained. Now, having been in this space for almost like 2 decades, and most of my colleagues at edForce, we have been trying to inculcate and drive few practices, and that is the genesis of edForce. So edForce was founded during the times of COVID, and the reason was we saw certain challenges that industry was facing. And that is how we created some practices and which is giving very good results to our clients. And we are able to solve some of the industry pain points very effectively. I would like to share those practices. Maybe it will give you some insight on what can be tried and probably get the results. We drive our programs for our clients in a very multifaceted way. Now the thing is, I personally come from technology background. I've been into IT space, I've been on the other side of the table. So I am myself a very strong believer of technology. I like to make sure that we use technology in everything that we do, we leverage it, we try to create results through technology. So we leverage cutting edge learning technology to provide state-of-the-art e-learning tools to our clients, to our learners. To make sure they are engaged, we are able to monitor what they are doing, they are able to get the results that they want. And most importantly, now with remote working and hybrid working, technology becomes all the more important to keep the learner engaged. Secondly, we invest in customized content. Now, there is a lot of content available in the market. We all are aware of that, right? And I think that is very good for individual learners, people who are looking for jobs and all that, but for enterprises, it's customized content that is required for enterprises that is aligned with their business. So we heavily invest in customized content, which is aligned, which meets the business requirement of our customers. And I think that is becoming more and more relevant with the hybrid working. Third is providing enterprise-grade report to, I would not say just customers, but the stakeholders. Those can be project managers, those can be learning and development managers, delivery managers. So they must get enterprise grade reports with detailed analytics and insights where they can easily measure and gauge how their teams, how their workforce is progressing, what they are learning, what their takeaways are. And again, at edForce, we are very particular to make sure our stakeholders get that visibility, what they need. Uh, because the investment is not just of money. The bigger investment is of time of their team, of every individual who is there in the part of the training, right? And we have to make sure when they walk out of that training or of that program, they have a wow feeling and they are really happy with that they were part of that program. Now, how do we achieve this? With remote working, one of the biggest challenge that for all of us came up, a new kind of challenge was training, management and administration, right? I'm sure we all will agree. Earlier we used to put all our participants in a classroom which was either in our campus or in one of the training room, remote training room. We'll put them and then managing them was fairly easy task. We'll provide them labs, laptops and everything. Training management administration is a new challenge that has come up with geographically distributed workforce. So we take complete ownership of training management and administration. We make sure that the things that L&D professionals had to do to ensure that the employees, the teams, the individuals are engaged, they are completing their learning journey. We take care of that. We have a lot of checkpoints. We make sure that they are engaged and they are completing their learning journey. In addition, again, prior to COVID, prior to remote working, provisioning of labs, hands-on lab was fairly simple task. The IT teams could set up the labs for the trainees. Now even that has become quite complicated. How would you set up a lab for someone who is sitting, let's say, in Raebareli or in Nasik and working from there? So we help our clients with remote labs, with enterprise grade remote labs where their workforce can ensure that they have got access to good labs. Just a couple of minutes more, right? So, remote labs, training management administration, learner engagement, all these have become very important in today's time and we have to make sure that the learners are getting what they need. Basically to conclude this thing, now in this era of hybrid working, we have to make sure that the learning and development professionals are at the forefront of this change and actually driving it. And by embracing the cutting edge technology, I think we can definitely do that. I have a lot more to say, but I think Hema is behind me, so I'll have to cut it out. I thank you all for participating, for being here and for your attention and for your time. Throughout the day, we'll continue this discussion. I wish you a wonderful day. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.
Mr. Ravi Kaklasaria for that wonderful insight. I now would like to call upon Dr. Harshal Sawant, Global Competency Development Leader, Talent Management of Viceland Corporation on the dais to felicitate Mr. Ravi Kaklasaria. Can we all put our hands once again, please? Thank you so much, Dr. Harshal Sawant, for doing the honors.